I want to be their mother. I really do. The moment my wife said that, I felt my chest tighten. That's right, my wife has always wanted children. But I was uncertain if we should be the ones to raise them. Though deep down, I already had my answer. Okay, let's go talk about it. Yes. I said this to reassure her. But who knows what will happen? I never truly believed we could make someone else's children our own. My name is Terry, and I'm a 40-year-old man. My wife, Nina, and I are the same age, but we don't have children. We got married 10 years ago, but we never had any kids. At first, Nina thought we would eventually have a baby, but as her period came each month, she started to realize something was wrong. So we went to an OBGYN, and she was diagnosed with infertility. When she got home, she burst into tears, repeatedly apologizing to me. I'm sorry, it's my body that couldn't give us a baby. Please forgive me. Nina, don't apologize so much. I didn't marry you just to have a baby. I'm happy just being with you. It's sad that we can't have kids. But we can support each other and live our lives together. But I feel so guilty. You were looking forward to having a baby too, right? Well, yeah. But maybe it was just wishful thinking. People without kids envy those with kids, and those with kids envy the freedom of those without. We don't have kids, but we're a happy couple and we can enjoy our free time. Isn't that good enough? In fact, we were so close that our neighbors called us the perfect couple. We go out together on weekends, enjoy outdoor activities, and still go on dates. But for Nina, having children seemed like an unfulfilled dream. As a man, I can't fully understand her feelings, but I know that for women, children are something they deeply yearn for. Men develop a paternal instinct when a child is born, but women must be born with a maternal instinct. Nina is incredibly kind to children and is loved by our neighbors' kids and our niece. But seeing her smile sadly when she's around them is heartbreaking. She must long to hold her own child in her arms. Nina works as a flight attendant. So she's often busy and not home much. She works on domestic flights, but sometimes she has long flights and can't come home. But I can handle housework, so I keep the house clean even when she's not around. I've been doing housework since I was a child. I grew up in a single-parent household, and I helped my mom by doing chores from a young age. My father was irresponsible and spent all his time playing, so my mom eventually divorced him. I think he was addicted to gambling and racked up a lot of debt. My mom had to take over that debt, and it was really tough for her. I wanted to support her, so I cleaned the house and did whatever I could every day. Because of my upbringing, I thought I'd never get married, but I met Nina at a party and we hit it off. Nina didn't mind that I came from a poor single-parent household and even praised my mom as a kind woman. My mom recently passed away, probably due to all the stress she endured. I wish I had been more devoted to her. They say you can't regret things in advance, but it's too late now. No matter how much I wish I had done more for her, there's nothing I can do now that she's gone. One day, I went to the airport to pick up my wife. I had found a nice restaurant in a magazine and thought we could go there after she finished work. One of our hobbies as a childless couple is enjoying good food, and we like going to fancy places meant just for adults. I thought a nice restaurant would be perfect to treat my tired wife. Hey, how was your flight today? Hey. The flight was okay, a bit bumpy, but nothing major. Just some usual turbulence. Got it, glad it wasn't too bad. How about we go to that restaurant we talked about? You know, the one called Starlight. Oh, that sounds great. We talked about going there. They have a great selection of wines, right? Exactly, and I know you love wine, so I thought it would be perfect. Alright, I'm going to drink a lot tonight. I have the day off tomorrow. Just as we were about to leave the airport to head to the restaurant, we saw two young sisters huddled in a corner. They had backpacks beside them and looked like elementary school kids. They were identical twins, judging by their similar faces. Why are these kids sleeping here? Where are their parents? Hey, little ones, what are you doing here? We were left here by our mom. What? Your mom left you here? Yeah, she told us to wait here. So, we're waiting. We don't have the house keys or know how to get home. Despite being young, the girl spoke clearly. I was shocked by what she said. What kind of parent does that to an elementary school kid? As I stood there, stunned, the girl continued. We have no choice but to wait here. We can't go home without the keys, and we don't know the way anyway. Sorry to worry you. Well. It's dangerous to stay here. How about coming to our place? It's cold and you might catch a cold. And you could run into some strange people. Hey, that makes you sound like a creep. Oh, right. Nina's comment made me realize that I must seem like a stranger to them too. Anyone would be scared if approached by a stranger. While I was pondering what to do, Nina searched her phone for a photo and showed it to the girl. The girl's expression softened instantly. Hey, that's Macy. Why do you have a picture of her? Well, Macy is my niece. What's a niece? It means Macy's mom is my sister. So, you're Macy's relative. Yes, that's right. So, we're not strangers. You can call me Auntie, it's appropriate for my age. No way. You're too cool and pretty to be an auntie. What about me, then? You're definitely an uncle. But she's like a cool sister. Ha ha ha. The girl laughed energetically, which relieved me a bit. I didn't mind being called an uncle. Honestly, at my age, having kids this young wouldn't be unusual, and being called an older brother would feel awkward. Meanwhile, the other girl was shy and looking down. She seemed a bit more reserved. The talkative girl then introduced herself and her sister. The outgoing one was the older twin, Hannah, and the shy one was the younger twin, Chloe. Hannah and Chloe looked identical but were opposites in personality. Hannah was active and loved sports. But she wasn't fond of studying. And her backpack only had comic books and a toy ball, with no school supplies. Chloe loved reading and was good at studying. Her backpack was full of books, and she says she has borrowed hundreds of them from the library so far. They were both 12-year-old sixth graders. We couldn't leave them at the airport, so we decided to take them home. They seemed to be friends with my wife's niece, so their home must be near my sister-in-law's. The logo on their school shirts was the same as my niece's, so I showed them the photo. It was a lucky guess. Got it. And they're about the same height as Macy. Exactly. Well, it seems they know Macy, so they understand we're not strangers. Now, what should we do? Unfortunately, we should skip the restaurant tonight. Let's take these kids home and get them cleaned up. They're covered in dust. Yeah, they've been in that corner for a while. It's terrible. I can't believe any parent would abandon such young kids. It's unbelievable. Seeing how dirty the sisters were, we decided to take them home and give them a bath. Even though the airport is clean, being in a corner would naturally make them dusty. Their clothes didn't look like they had been washed recently either. We brought them home and immediately started running a bath. At 12 years old, they were old enough to wash themselves, so Nina didn't need to help. Nina said, "These are a bit big," and gave them her t-shirts to wear. The shirts were oversized, turning into shirt dresses, which looked cute. It was June, hot and humid, so they wouldn't catch a cold inside the house. Afterward, we fed them, and they ate hungrily, clearly very hungry. They didn't have any money, so they must have been waiting for their mother to return at the airport. When I asked about their father, they said he left home to be with a younger woman and never came back. What is wrong with their parents? What kind of parents would abandon such young children without any guilt? I knew there were strange parents out there, but seeing it firsthand was shocking. Now that you've had a bath and dinner, let's talk about what to do next. Should we call the police to have someone come pick you up? You can't stay here forever. I said this to Hannah. Her face turned red and she looked like she was about to cry. Please don't. If you do that, we'll become criminals' children. And Grandma and Grandpa will get in trouble with the police. That would be awful. But you won't be able to go back home. What will you do? Can we stay here? Well. Even the shy Chloe was pleading with me now. Please let us stay here. Our grandparents couldn't come to us for a reason. Grandparents? Do they usually come to your house? Yes. Mom's parents. Our mom is always out with men, so Grandma takes care of us. She has the house keys. But she couldn't come because she's in the hospital. Hospital? What happened? She ate some seafood and got food poisoning. Food poisoning. That must have been tough. If the police get involved, Grandma and Grandpa might be blamed too. Please, don't call them. Okay, I understand. I'll visit the hospital tomorrow. Yes, please do that. So, I decided to visit Hannah and Chloe's grandparents in the hospital the next day. Their grandparents had eaten seafood that was probably undercooked, causing severe diarrhea and high fever, resulting in hospitalization. When I entered the hospital room, I found their grandparents in a shared room. They were both on 4 drips, but their symptoms seemed to be improving, and their fever was going down. The grandfather was still asleep, but the grandmother noticed me and greeted me. I explained that we were taking care of Hannah and Chloe. The grandmother looked very apologetic and lamented her daughter's irresponsibility. Ever since my daughter stopped taking care of them, we've been looking after the grandkids. But when we were hospitalized, we couldn't go to their house and unlock the door. That must have been tough. We're so sorry for the trouble. We wish we could thank you properly, but we're struggling ourselves. Oh, no, you don't have to thank us. It's no problem at all. My husband and I were self-employed, but during hard times, we couldn't pay all our bills. Our social security benefits aren't much now. We've been living frugally, so we can't offer much. Tears welled up in her eyes. Oh, please don't cry. Really, there's no need to thank us. I'm really sorry. One of the reasons we're in this situation is because of our daughter's debt. She was obsessed with nightclubs and racked up a lot of debt. We paid it off for her, which left us unable to pay taxes. It's disgraceful. Isn't it? No. It's not your fault. What a daughter. The mother of these sisters got deeply into nightclubs and ended up spending too much on her favorite male entertainer. When she couldn't pay her debts, she turned to her parents for help. So the grandparents paid off her debts, which resulted in long periods of unpaid taxes and meager pension benefits. What kind of adult behaves this way? The grandmother asked if we could take care of the sisters until they were discharged from the hospital. I agreed, as it seemed like the best option. Nina is a busy flight attendant, but I work mainly from home as an engineer. So I can take care of the kids while their grandparents recover. It turned out they went to the same elementary school as my niece, Macy. And since my sister-in-law's house is nearby, the school is within walking distance. With the house key the grandmother gave me, I went to Hannah and Chloe's house to fetch their clothes and bring them back. The house, maintained by the grandparents, was fairly clean, but there were clothes belonging to their mother scattered around. All of them were flashy, some even embarrassingly so. The sink was piled with dirty dishes and empty cup noodle containers. The girls must have been surviving on cup noodles while their grandparents were unable to come. I cleaned them up to prevent any bugs from coming in. After Hannah and Chloe went to bed, Nina quietly said to me, "I want to be their mom." Is that okay? What? You mean? Those girls don't know what parental love is. They haven't been properly loved. I want to be their parent and teach them about it. I know I'm a busy flight attendant, but I want to be there for them as much as possible. Nina. I want to visit the grandmother again and talk to her. All right, let's go together. We needed to seriously consider what to do with these girls. In the past few days, Hannah and Chloe had become more than strangers to us. I started to hope they could stay with us forever. But was it right for us, with no blood relation, to keep them? Wouldn't it be better for their grandparents to take care of them? Yet, I didn't want to let them go. After the grandparents were discharged, Nina and I went to visit them. Nina expressed her desire to adopt Hannah and Chloe. I know this is a lot to ask, but we want to adopt the girls, she said. Thank you for thinking of them, the grandmother replied. We would do our best to raise them. Can you entrust them to us? That would be helpful. Honestly, we don't have the money, and living with my husband is already a struggle. The girls would be happier with you. We're sorry for all the trouble. No, it's no trouble. I want to be their mother. We will raise them well. Thank you. Please take care of them. So, we decided to adopt Hannah and Chloe. Not just any adoption, but a legal adoption. Legal adoption severs the legal ties with the birth parents and establishes the adoptive parents as the legal parents. Their names will be listed as our daughters on the family register, making them almost like our biological children. After contacting the necessary agencies, we found out where their parents were and informed them of our intention to adopt the girls. Through a representative, we were told that neither the mother nor the father had any interest in the children and were fine with the adoption. It was surprisingly straightforward and confirmed their lack of interest in the kids. They really didn't care about their children. If they did, they wouldn't have handled it through a representative. So, the adoption process went smoothly, and we officially became a family. Hannah and Chloe, who used to call us by our name, eventually started calling us Dad and Mom. I was worried if they would ever truly see us as their parents, especially since they were already older, but it made me happy to know they did. 10 years flew by in the blink of an eye. Nina and I turned 50. Nina now works hard as an instructor training young flight attendants. I, on the other hand, had established my own office. I was a freelance engineer, but at 45, I started my own small company. Chloe is now 22 years old. Hannah, after graduating from a commercial high school, started dating a local businessman named Sean. Chloe is about to graduate from college. Hannah didn't go to college because she disliked studying, but I think that's fine. She graduated from high school and is working as a secretary at a small local company. Recently, Hannah's boyfriend, Sean, proposed to her. Look at this ring. Sean gave it to me. Isn't it beautiful? It's full of diamonds. Wow, what a beautiful engagement ring. It's amazing. You're so loved, sis. Right? Well, Chloe, you'll get proposed to by a wonderful person someday too. After all, you're as beautiful as me. What's that? But I'm too shy, so I wonder if I can ever date someone? You will. You're kind, and someone will definitely see that and appreciate you. I hope so. Oh, that's a lovely ring. Show it to me too. Look, isn't it great? Sean gave it to me at a romantic restaurant. How wonderful. We had times like that too, didn't we? Wait, did Dad propose to you romantically too? Did I? I don't really remember. Come on, Dad's just being shy. He loves Mom so much. Your father is a bit shy, isn't he? Nina laughed. As we were having this conversation, a call came in from an unknown number. When I answered, a woman on the other end said, "I'll be visiting you soon." What was that about? It left me feeling uneasy. Who was that call from? I don't know. Who was it? It was a voice I didn't recognize. That's creepy. Yeah, a bit scary. I decided not to worry about the call, thinking it might just be a wrong number. Nevertheless, marriage happens fast. After Hannah's wedding, Chloe will probably be next. The house will feel empty again. But that's part of growing up. Hannah was busy preparing for her wedding. She visited venues, chose dresses, and looked for a new house with her fiancé, Sean. I felt a bit lonely thinking about her leaving the house. Finally, the wedding day arrived, and I felt incredibly nervous. These past 10 years felt both long and short. There were the usual adolescent rebellious phases. But they say it's better for kids to go through them as it helps them grow. Although Nina and I never expected to raise children, we were fortunate to become Hannah and Chloe's parents. Now, we get to celebrate our daughter's wedding. There's no greater joy than this. When I noticed some commotion outside the venue, I decided to check it out. There was a flashy-looking woman who appeared to be around our age. As I stood there, stunned, Hannah approached in her wedding dress. Is that Hannah? You got married. Congratulations. I'm so happy. Why didn't you invite me? I heard about it and came. Let me in. Please leave. What? What are you saying? How can you talk like that to the mother who gave birth to you? It's simple. We didn't invite you. Also, I only have one mom in this world, and that's Nina. My biological mother no longer exists to me. You're being ridiculous. The birth mother is more important. What are you talking about? To me, Nina is more important. You didn't even show up for the adoption process and handled everything through a representative. That means we didn't matter to you. I had no choice back then. The man I was with said kids were a nuisance, so I couldn't come. Please forgive me and let me in. No, you need to leave now. If you cause any more trouble, I'll call the police. Her biological mother started to scream incoherently and caused a scene. She was finally escorted out by security. Apparently, she had heard rumors about Hannah's wedding and decided to show up, but it was too late to play the mother now. For Hannah and Chloe, she had abandoned them. She had been traveling with a male entertainer when she left them at the airport. Telling young children to wait at the airport while she went on a trip was inexcusable, and she wasn't fit to be a parent. Hannah wouldn't have been happy to see her at the wedding anyway. The wedding ceremony continued. When it was Hannah's turn to speak, Nina and I felt nervous. For certain reasons, I was taken in and raised by my current parents. The most important people in my life are my parents who raised me. And my twin sister, Chloe. Dad, thank you for always taking care of us at home. Mom, thank you for taking us places despite your busy schedule. I will be happy with my husband from now on. Please watch over us. Oh, Hannah, you've grown up so well. Mom, Dad, thank you for everything. I'll try to repay you little by little from now on. And to my dear sister Chloe, please continue to support me as always. Sis. She's really grown up. Yes. I never thought this day would come. It was all worth it. Kids are truly the best. Nina was beside me, dabbing her eyes with a handkerchief, crying. She always wanted children, and even though they weren't her biological children, seeing them grow up so well made her incredibly happy. I was equally happy to see Hannah become such a fine person. She was always responsible but also a bit mischievous, so I had been slightly worried. Hannah's wedding went smoothly, and she enjoyed the reception with her friends. She returned home exhausted, but I'm glad to see that she has created such a wonderful memory. Hannah moved out to live with her husband, Sean, in an apartment nearby. It was close enough for us to visit if needed. 6 months later, Hannah announced that she was pregnant. We were going to become grandparents. Time really does fly by. After hearing the news, I visited Hannah and Chloe's grandparents' grave. They had passed away, but I wanted to tell them that Hannah had grown up well and was expecting a child. Hannah gave birth to healthy twins, a boy and a girl. They were fraternal twins, so they didn't look alike, but they were both adorable. People say that grandchildren are special, and they truly are. I've been completely smitten with my grandchildren, wanting to buy them everything, and getting scolded by Hannah for it. She told me that spoiling them too much would lead to them becoming irresponsible adults, so I shouldn't buy so many toys. I realized I needed to curb my tendency to spoil them out of love. Meanwhile, Chloe, who just secured a job, is very enthusiastic. Chloe has become a flight attendant for the airline where my wife works. She studied some foreign languages in college and even went abroad, so she's quite proficient in it. She's always said she wanted to be a flight attendant like her mother. Although Hannah and Chloe look very similar, Chloe is slightly slimmer and taller. Being identical twins, they didn't end up looking exactly the same. Appearance is important for a flight attendant, which probably helped Chloe pass the recruitment exam. Chloe admired Nina's uniform and demeanor when we first met at the airport, which inspired her to pursue this career. When she passed the exam, she was overjoyed. I'll work hard to become a strong woman like you, Mom. I need to earn the trust of the passengers. Chloe, just because you're my daughter doesn't mean I'll go easy on you. Wow, the tough instructor. Mom, I heard from my seniors during orientation that you're feared by everyone. They said not to make you angry because you're a demon. Being called a demon instructor is so rude. I'm not that scary. You are. You always turn bright red when you're mad. How rude. Now get ready. Let's go to work. Yes, ma'am. Nina is Chloe's training instructor. Though she seems gentle, she's known as a tough instructor at work. Given the responsibility of ensuring passenger safety, there's no room for complacency. No matter how hard or difficult. No complaints are allowed in the world of flight attendants. Nowadays, we are leading a very happy life. But we've had our tough times. There were moments of conflict when I thought maybe we couldn't make it as a family because we weren't biologically related. But what truly defines a family? Is it just blood relations? Can Hannah and Chloe's biological parents, who abandoned them, be considered true parents? No, they can't. A parent who can abandon their young children isn't even human. I am not like that, and I've loved Hannah and Chloe with all my heart. I want Hannah and Chloe to be even happier from now on. That's our only wish.